the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Yeah, caught straight to Supreme Court. There is a case filed by editor-in-chief of the Daily Satellite newspaper, Kenneth Kwabena Ajay Kranche. Now, this is a case between the editor-in-chief of Daily Satellite and the Republic, the Attorney General. Now, this case, or they challenge the legality behind the oral. And many workers say the 5-member committee, Eyo Kujato, Matipegu, Domelevo, Kofi Boachinum, any other Adenomuna, Muyam, Edda, Ramosuno Edda Jemua, and Yansam Kitwan. I am called Retinum. I am correct issues were raised. A serious matter. Now I say this race was filed on 24th of September 2025. Invokes the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court under Article 2, Clause B of the Constitution 1992 and Rule 45 of the Supreme Court, Clause 16, seeking several declarations and orders against the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, who is named as the defendant. Now, and some and all seeking court one, a declaration that a true and proper interpretation of Article 296 Clause A, B, 51 Clause 1, and several others. So all prosecutions arising out of the oral operations come to a halt. And they say, or declare, and now invoke the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to say, cases here, a far oral who Attorney General pursuing or stopping in na omundi assembly and sana betwaswa watwaso. And also, or say, an order directed to the defendants to halt all reports, decisions, conclusions, investigations, prosecutions, and any other act arising out of the operations of the body called oral until final determination of this suit. And again, also say an order of audit of all expenditures borne by the government of Ghana arising out of the operation of the body called Operation Recover All Loot. Operation Recover All Loot aye oral. Enti saa adwuma na okuja tomu eyeye say omo gather informations aye unconstitutional no. If the nation spends some money, if we spend some money in the process no, and yeah, we making sure say on be comprehensive audits. Na court no finding anyone culpable ayo Kujato, Domelevo, Martin Kpegu, Kofi Boachimua na yantwe wo maso. And tell you see an order surcharging the individuals constituting themselves into the body called operative oral with any identified expenditure borne by the government. Now, this is so serious. The president Mahama, the current president, na Onyambeye president, and not orally. Now, Article 45, and so say anybody, okay, anybody that is not enabled by law is unlawful. Now, I don't know, I'm editor-in-chief of the Daily Satellites are challenging the situation in court. Say, court and declare, say, all findings, all decisions, just say all operations, Attorney General should cease. Attorney General should cease until Supreme Court no ever making interpretation of the Constitution and also any proper sanctions, because they are very unconstitutional. The minority in parliament, as at the time oral no starting operations, no resist this kind of issues. So Operation Recover All Loot no, unconstitutional. So because we have the Attorney General in Parliament, Parliament in Ghana, we have the Church, we have Iyoko, we have even the Special Prosecutor. Mu nyinaa yɛ adwuma baako. Na ade nti na ɛwɔ sɛ NDC aban etimi gyae saa institutions yi nyinaa si hɔ. Ogya wɔn nyinaa si hɔ na ɔsan kɔte another institution a yɛfrɛ no oral a one mmara bi anhyɛ aseɛ. Ɔmmara bi anhyɛ aseɛ. Ɔmo a ɔmo working under the oral no, nea ɛtoa so, they have no qualification as to whatever. Say, ɔmbɛyɛ members of a body like that. And ɛyɛ unconstitutional. Now, these are some of the pleas here. The editor-in-chief of the Daily Satellite, Ede Akoto Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court, I'm an order to the Attorney General, say within 14 days, ɔmo file ɔmo defense. Na Supreme Court ɛntena asɛm no nti me ne wo kasa yi deɛ, Supreme Court ayɛ butu. Already no Ndra fresh case ya na ɛwɔ hɔ ana akɔduru Supreme Court about appointment of Kofi Boakye to head the retired police council. And also yɛse ɛyɛ unlawful. Nti yɛn nso yɛ challenge no ɛwɔ Supreme Court. Now this is an indication this evolving suits also in this government is as a result of the unconstitutional and unlawful actions via the government of the day take here. A lot of Ghanaians who say they are going beyond the norm. They are departing from what has kept Ghana democracy to this far. And see, I was going to say the Supreme Court.
Sees that, and the real oral now for me means that Operation Release All Looters and then arrest people who are against our party. You cannot talk. There is so much that they had in their time as a form of hate speech. Now, when you even post something, President calls himself the IP man. He's able to trace whoever and wherever you are, and he gets people to be picked up. It's just so unbearable. I mean, what's this? You have to be focused as the President of the Republic. Let the institutions work for tomorrow's sake, because nobody is going to be president forever, you know. So stay there, ensure the institutions work. People who are at fault with the law should be dealt with in a manner that is proper. Let's use proper procedure at every step and every way. Nobody is saying that don't go after people you think that they have committed crimes, but you use the proper procedure. And it is high time we understand that we have no Ghana anywhere apart from this Ghana. So if you have ever studied Karl Marx, there is what we call economic determinism and historical materialism. People would at a stage not be able to stand whatever you are doing, and they will revolt. And if you are not careful, you'll be surprised the kind of people who join in that kind of revolt. Let us stop weaponizing state institutions, including even the judiciary. I mean, what's this?
When we give away copies of the petitions, in my opinion, it's totally not on. It's not a good thing that the committee is doing. And as I said before, there are jurists on this panel, two very eminent jurists, two Supreme Court judges, who should stand up for what they know to be right. Normally in our litigation, it is also tried that it is adversarial. You accuse me, I get the opportunity to cross-examine you and to examine you. For instance, let me look at, for instance, Shining Stars. Mm-hmm. Okay, Nana Fianco is allowed under Article 146 to present a petition. So you come as Nana Fianco.
Yeah.
But if you come as an institution, Shining Stars, okay, I have checked with the Registrar General. There is no institution recognized in this country as called Shining Stars.
Obviously, she mentioned in the presser that is not registered, but outside Ghana, it's not registered within Ghana. So she had a certain challenge with the fact that a company registered outside Ghana had the guts to want to challenge her office and her credibility.
There's no official body in Ghana called, recognized by an official system in Ghana called Shining Stars. So how does a body that does not exist have the balls to present a petition against the Chief Justice of our country? And she must be given the right to cross-examine the people who brought this type of petition.
And now that from what she's telling us, that opportunity is not being presented to her. She is not being given that chance to cross-examine those petitioners. In the court of law, what does this mean? Is it more or less a kangaroo kind of adjudication or what?
In the court of law, the whole thing will fall, because you rise and fall on your credibility, on your capacity, on your existence. Okay, I would not be speaking if I were not alive. The fact that the Shining Stars does not exist in our law means that whatever is granted on Shining Stars will fall ab initio. So these are very genuine points that she's raising, and everybody who loves this country, who loves constitutionality, who loves rule of law, should see that the points that Madam Tokoni is making are very important points. Unfortunately, when you are in there, you tend to you say when you're tabo space, you tend to develop Buddhist specs. But when you come out here, Franco, this my dry office, you come into this my dry office, you and I in the private sector, you have been in the private sector in the hospital for decades, you and I, you know. And when you are in yes, when you are in the private sector, you think differently. I hope that we would all learn from the experience of Madam Tokono that it is not always land presence and comfort. Okay, when people come and they raise genuine issues, let's not play with the law. Let's not deny them. Let us look at the things in a constitutional way, as the Constitution expects of us. I would hope that the justices who are playing a role in this particular exercise realize that it is their name. Okay, in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years from now, when we are referring to the committee, we would mention Gabriel Court-Mahama.
Yeah.
Okay. And the historians, the academicians, people like Prof in the university, when they are studying this case, they remember the person who shared was Gabriel Court-Mahama, and they were the people who allowed non-existent institutions like Shining Stars to be there to petition and not to be cross-examined.